This is Grizzly Country Outdoors.
So you can see that I had already made a cut on this. I snapped the chalk line and tried to follow it with the skill saw, but I couldn't run a straight enough cut that way. So I realized I needed a proper edge guide for my saw. So I got these two pieces of OSB, and snap another chalk line, screw them down on it, and then I'll be able to produce a nice straight cut. So a quick measurement on the base of the saw, and I find I need to be 5.5 inches from the edge of the blade to the guide. Here's a quick tip for you. Shake up your chalk line dispenser. You'll get a way darker chalk line that way. So now I just have to position this OSB on the chalk line and screw it in position, and then now we're going to get a little lesson in explaining things to women right here. The fairer sex.
What are you cutting that much off for?
Enough. That's how far from the edge of the shoe of the saw. The blade will be running out here. The edge of the saw. You'll see.
So you're going to cut this off here?
No, I cut this edge here. I cut it by just running the chalk line, and I didn't get a straight enough cut, so by using these I'll get a...
It's just for a... Oh my God almighty.
You can't,
Oh Jesus, yeah.
you can't beat quality.
Yeah, right.
Kind of funny, she's still muttering away there in the background. I don't think I'll end it. So here I use this level to make sure these two pieces are perfectly lined together, and then there's another lesson in explaining things to women coming up.
Why can't you just clamp that board on there and then cut along it?
What?
And then just use that as your guide.
That's what I'm doing.
So this side you're cutting off now.
No, I told you, I'm cutting that edge. You'll see.
Oh, I see.
You'll see in a second.
No, I don't need to see any more.
You don't need to see any more? I believe I tripped the breaker. I get pretty familiar with that over the 2 days. Oh. Two things, this is really tough green wood, and I need to run on the 20 amp circuit. Breaker tripped again.
Why don't you move it? Like I said, but you won't listen.
I'll plug it into the other one. But I have to have a longer cord. We'll finish up this cut, and of course it's perfect by following that guide. And the next thing I realize also is that this plank I just cut, that's going to be my template for cutting all of the other planks. I'm going to put wire supports under here. It should be allow me to have 2 planks side by side and use that one I've already cut for my template. The 2 planks side by side, the base of the saw will be supported properly. But anyway, this system right here will work really good with, because the shoe, the saw, is going to be supported by that. So here we go. It looks like I'm taking a heck of a lot off, but I'm losing, you know, about yay much where it is really. So that's how I took the first live edge off each of these planks. I did 2 at a time like this to switch back and forth and use that original plank as my template for the whole works. I continued using the 2 planks side by side until I got to the last 2 planks, and they were so bloody wide my little tables wouldn't support them. I had to do them individually, you'll see. So I got down to the last 2 planks in the trailer, and they're too wide. I've been running 2 of them side by side on my little table here. They're too wide, so I just have to hand bomb this on this narrow edge. That's all I can do. This is a friggin' big plank. Oops. Big plank. And that's the end of day 1 of cleaning up the live edge on these planks. Alright, gonna do the other edge on these boards. This is day 2 on removing the live edge. I don't have anybody to help me, so I had to figure out I need a really large output table, and it came to me, my trailer. It's perfect length, heavy duty, it's not going to move. The only thing I got. Okay, so I'm using the trailer as my outfeed table, but what I realized once I started was it's sloping away from this tabletop. So I put one of my planks there for the boards to feed out onto, but then I had to put a pile of shims down the trailer to level it up there under the plank. I get shims in 3 spots. As well, I set a sawhorse here, leveled it up with the tabletop. And we're finally, I think, good to go. Well, I've been sawing for a couple hours here and have a pretty decent stack there. Look at this plank. Is that beautiful or what? That particular plank is 13 inches. Man, that is a gorgeous piece of wood. So I'm down to one of my final planks here, and this is a friggin' another just huge plank. And it was a real workout cutting this wood. There's some serious meat in that. They're 2 inches thick. This particular plank is 17 inches wide. And it's 15 foot I'm pushing through that saw. Just saying. Okay, let's just review what we got here. I need to be minimum 12 foot wide, which is 144 inches. So I'm going to add the dimensions of that stack of 10 and see what I get there. 15, 15, 17, 14, 12 and a half, 15, 12, 13, 17, 13, equal 143.5. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. And then I got another 3 at 11 inches. So I sat down and scratched my head and mulled this over, and the only thing I didn't have a choice. One of those 3 planks are at 11 inches wide has to be added into the others to make my floor. That'll give me a floor 154 inches wide approximately. And then the other 2 11 inches, I'm gonna rip them in half and create basically 4 2x6s for putting under the floor. That's the decision. I could actually, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to. One of these 11-inch boards has got to go in the floor, and the other 2 I need to rip in half to create basically 2x6 cross members for them all to go in. I could get 4 cross members that way. Yeah, it'd work. So here I'm just ripping the last of the 2x6 in half to finish up all my planks. Hark, I hear a lady in need of help. My lovely neighbor Ann's coming over. She needs to get a piece of plywood cut.
Me too.
Need to cut something?
Yeah, could I just cut this straight? I want this for a table in there for my sawhorses.
Remove these and you can have the saw.
Just pull mine out now. Wow, those are good.
Yeah, gorgeous work. Heavy though.
Yeah.
I got a couple that are 17 inches.
Yeah.
They're really ready to work.
Still probably a bit wet too.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, those are good. Okay, well, let me know when you.
So after I checked my measurements, I had 143 and a half. So I had to use one of these 11-inch for my floor to give me 154 and a half. Perfect. Just a little bit 10 inches wider than I need. Then I took 2 11-inch and created basically what's going to be the floor support. 4 2x6s. Now, clean up all that crap, vacuum up. Doing the cleanup at the end of the day. Look at this vacuum. It's friggin' full.